Today was a rock fight in the first half. It really was. We weren't shooting good. They weren't shooting good. Both teams played decent defense, but I thought both teams had some good shots too. But, you know, I thought it was a great move. Surprised me with their lineup, but I thought it was a good move. I think we're all, as coaches right now, trying to figure out how we deal with the different things we all go through between freshmen and seniors and transfers. And it's not as easy as you people would think it is, whether it's me, whether it's Chris, whether it's a lot of other people. And, you know, I think those freshmen are awfully talented. I know the class he's got coming in is as good or better because they beat us on a couple kids. But I do have to give us a little credit because we stuck with the game plan defensively, and I thought AJ played pretty well offensively in the second half. I thought the first half, Tyson had to take over some point guard. Hauser was great the whole game. Malik called for being 1 for 5, but he gets 6 rebounds. He played great defense. I thought that was a big step. He practiced 2 days in a row and now had a good game, in my opinion. Even hit a 3, but how many minutes did he play? 26 minutes. So I think that if we can build on that. The disappointments, you know, early, I mean, Jaden Akins, if you watch him, he did a hell of a job. He gets 9 rebounds. He made some great drives. But we were so three-point happy. We looked like an AAU team out there early. We just, I think we took 5 threes in our first 5 shots. And that's not who we are, and that's not what we should be. So I was disappointed in that. And I was really disappointed in our inside play. I mean, we did a decent job on Key. I really like him, but we tried to sag in. We tried to do some things. But Marty and Jackson didn't rebound like they're capable of. They made some crazy plays. So we got some work to do there. You know, your job's never done. Had some good things, had some bad things. I thought Ohio State came back, cut it to 5, I think 6, somewhere in that area. And then Hauser hit a couple big key plays, and AJ won, and we found a way to win the game. But wasn't the prettiest game, but we'll take the win. Questions?
Tom, back-to-back 20-point games for Joey now. What are you seeing at him right now in terms of his confidence in his demeanor shooting the ball?
Well, I think he does have confidence, and more importantly, AJ has confidence in him. You know, I thought our guys, Tyson Walker was another unsung hero. You know, goes 5 for 9, gets 10 points, 3 rebounds. Seems like a but he made a couple assists to Joey. AJ made a couple assists to Joey, and Joey's playing like the kid I thought he would be when I recruited him in high school. And he's rebounding tough. His defense is improving. I think he's fresher. You know, I think that 6 games took a lot out of him. I think he's fresher. He's got some lift. Ran a couple plays to get him those free throw line jump shots, and he really looked good doing it. So combination of he's playing better, he's shooting better. The guys know it, and they're getting him the ball. He still was very efficient, you know, only 8 for 13. So happy for him. You all know what he's been through. Happy for him.
Over here real quick. Kind of not exactly like the other day when you had the lead and got down and were able to respond. And then today, the big lead kind of gets shrunk a little bit. Another game, though, you guys find a way to respond and really put the game away. Is this just kind of that, I don't know, this is just team just maturing as the year goes by and not letting those things get away from you, I guess?
Like I said, for the media of Ohio State, there's nothing I hate more than when my media is right. It's discouraging for me, but that's a good way to put it. I do think we're maturing, and we use that in the huddles. We said, you know, we've been here, we've done this before. Now we're going to grow a little bit, or we're going to get better, Malik. Are you going to take over? Are you going to say something out there? AJ, are you going to run our team and not let some of those things happen? And give credit to Ohio State. I thought they made a hell of a run. They pushing the ball good, made a couple of big plays. But I do think we're maturing as a team, and yet, you know, first half we get AJ in foul trouble, and Jaden kind of playing a little bit faster than I think he needs to play, and then And then Marty, you know, struggled a little bit. So, you know, Pierre actually did a good job off the bench, and that's what we haven't been getting either. We haven't been getting the bench play. You know, Pierre doesn't make a shot, but he played way better defense than probably he's ever played since he's been here. And I think he felt good about that too. Missed 2 shots that I thought were in. Big plays when you get down 5 or 6 after you got a 15-point lead, and you still rebound to build that back up. So that'll help us, I think, in the future.
Tom, you mentioned the other day how important it would be to rebound offensively in that sequence. When they cut it to 5, Jaden got that 1 offensive board, and that really, between that and what he did on the defensive glass too, I mean, I guess, how do you kind of offset maybe some of those early shots with what he did with that part of his game?
You know what? Make sure you understand. I think 2 of the 3 shots he took were wide open. The problem is they were, you know, when I say wide open, I mean we had shots. The problem is we were going to run some. We want everybody to touch the ball the first couple plays, and it wasn't just him. The other thing we were disappointed in him about, if I was to be honest, is he was leaking out a lot. And so we jumped him about getting in there, and sure enough, he made a couple big plays. Hauser made that one where he tipped it twice and got it. But Jaden Akins made some big plays, and then he got some defensive boards. I mean, he is so versatile. He can rebound it, he can guard it, and he is our best shooter percentage-wise, and he's our best athlete. If I can just find a way to curb it a little bit and still let him go, he's going to be a hell of a player. And I think he knows it. I mean, I think he saw some of the things, and just, you know, he's young and hadn't had a lot of experience from last year, and he was injured for 13 weeks, so didn't get that preseason stuff that most get.
Tom, I mean, there are years where you don't have one veteran point guard. To have a situation where you get a second foul in the middle of the half like that, and you've got a guy you can turn to, and that's really when the run goes. Can you speak to that comfort and what that gives you potentially just for the rest of the season?
Yeah, and I felt bad because we put Trey in there, and Trey's had a couple good practices. We said we're going to play him more, and he kind of makes a crazy turnover right off the bat. And those guards are physical for Ohio State, you know. And not that Tyson's big enough to handle that, but he's smart enough to handle that, where Trey was getting bopped around in there. But it wasn't anything Trey did bad other than 1 turnover. You can't take him out for that. So I still think he's going to be a factor, but Tyson Walker has been as consistent as the day is long, and he can play both positions and really made some nice plays, both as a point guard and as a 2 guard. And I think as he grows, Joey grows, we get Malik back full. AJ getting better, than I say this team could, you know, still win some games down the stretch.
So you made a comment that coaching is not as easy as...
No, or as fun.
And I assume some of that's tied up in the new media transfer and
Totally.
all this stuff. You're aware this program that you play today is struggling. You reached out to coach after he got ejected. You said complimentary things about him.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, what's fair for fans to expect? Because
that's a great question.
No Sweet 16s in 6 years. That's not typical here. What is fair for fans to expect?
So it's not just my media that has intelligent questions today. Yes, it's yours that does too, and I say that respectfully, so don't take it any other way. I think the hard part is they got some good young players. They really do. When you're sitting there, and I have no idea, I mean, I didn't talk to Chris about this, I'm telling you, me, this is all me. When you're sitting there at the end of the year and you're thinking somebody might go pro, somebody might transfer, somebody might give up his 6th year, what do I do, who do I get? And this is one of the problems that I've said, I've been on every committee, that in the end the kids get, everybody thinks this is great for the freedom of the kids, and all of a sudden you got too many guys. And then you want to blame the coach for that. Just so you know, those guys sitting next to you, some of them, and our fans, they're blaming me for not going in the portal and not getting more players. So you know what it is, if you win, you did the right thing, and if you lose, you did the wrong thing. He's got some very good players, very young players. I thought it was brilliant to start those guys, I really did. he had a recruiting class this year for next year that beat us out on a couple of guys. And your point is true, but if you look at the last 3 years at Michigan State, we were out in the first round, we were out in the second round. We haven't lived up to our standards either. COVID has done a lot to a lot of places, a lot of programs. I don't know what the fans expect. I only say that here because I absolutely love football. Football is my first love, and I watched Ohio State play Michigan and lose, and I thought the poor coach was going to get hung in. And then I watched them do an unbelievable job and probably outplay Georgia. And we build the monster, and then we got to live with it. Okay, and I'm just saying that. Understand that it has been a very difficult 3 years between COVID, guys coming back for 5th, 6 years. We're playing against guys that are 24 sometimes. Then you turn that around, and the transfer portal and the paying of players, and it's not as easy as you think. I would tell fans, be a little patient. If the recruiting quit going and this and that, I guess I'd be a little more upset, but I do think he's a good coach. He's not my best friend. I'm not sticking up for my brother. I'm sticking up for coaches because I don't think anybody has any idea how difficult this is. And I'm glad you said fans, because I'm sure our fans aren't real happy with me either. And I understand that. I mean, I built the monster. I'm trying to feed the damn thing. And but there's a lot of reasons for a lot of things. And hopefully we get through this year, and now the COVID stuff gets over, so we know who everybody has. I think the transfer stuff will get worse. I really do. And so we're all going to have to. He knows. I know. I got my big boy pants on. I know what expectations are. But I looked at this was the first game where there was really a letdown at the end. They had Purdue beat. So did we. Nobody cared. They've been in games, dogfights right down to the end. So have we, So if you really look at it, I know it's a win at all costs. I do understand that. But just think about it. You lose by 1 and you're a dog, and you win by 1 and you're a hero. Your team probably played the same, And that's what's difficult right now in our profession. But listen, he's had 2 great recruiting classes. I think he'll rally those freshmen, and it's just hard to mix everybody together. That's what I think. But I also think they've lost like 9 games, and it's all been close. And sometimes that's what happens with young freshman point guards and things like that. I mean, with AJ, his first 2 years, that's the way it was. And so anyway, I hope people are a little patient with all of us. And yet, I understand the job. Good question.
Got time for one more. Tom, you said you thought it was brilliant to start the lineup that he did, and that threw you a little bit for a loop. Starting 3 freshmen Big Ten play can come with some challenges. What did you like about that decision? Why did you
what I like is I think they're 3 talented freshmen, number 1, and they're, we have some problems where, like Trey. I mean, he's still 165, 70 pounds. I mean, those young guys they got are men. I mean, they're I'm sure your football coach would die to have a couple of those at linebacker, and so I just think that I'm not here every day. I don't know. I have any idea what goes on. I just know that all of our locker rooms are very difficult. They're all very, very difficult, and it takes daily massaging, communication, and I just thought that it was maybe the right thing to try something different. I still played those other guys. Who was it that came in? That McNeil had a pretty good game, 4 for 13, but made a couple big shots. I thought they're that young Opara, how do you say it? Him too. Para. I think he's going to be a damn good player, you know. For a young kid that's skinny, he's going to be a good player. So, I don't know, just my opinion, you know. These are my opinions. Everybody's got opinions. I don't write or call them. I just, once in a while, give them. Most of the time, I keep them to myself.
All set, guys?
Thanks.
Thanks.